Bit of a short video. It's kind of a holiday season. Hope everyone's having a good holiday season. So in today's video, I'm going to go over the new battle items and give you my thoughts on their viability and such. So starting off with what was revealed to us before the game's launch, there is Covert Cloak, which will protect you from the additional effects of moves. And this works for just about any secondary effect, such as flinches, stat drops, status effects, which is actually really good. So I think this is probably going to end up being an essential item to have in competitive format. It helps a lot to prevent stalling, and it gets rid of a lot of the randomness. So you don't have this 10% chance to be frozen anymore if you have this on. The most likely, you're going to be seeing this on support Pokemon, just because the ability to keep Fake Out from flinching your support Pokemon is very, very good. And I think there's actually another item that's going to be better suited for like your sweepers and offensive stuff. So very solid choice, probably going to see it almost everywhere. Next up is Loaded Dice, and this is an interesting one because initially I didn't think it was going to be that good, though based on the wording it seems like it guarantees your move hits more times, that being your multi-hit moves, which does seem pretty decent, but I do think there is a Pokemon that is going to benefit a lot from this item specifically, which I will get into in a future video. Okay, next up is Clear Amulet, and this item looks powerful. So it prevents opponents from lowering your stats, period. So intimidates, icy winds, snarls, nothing is going to lower your stats if you have this on. It basically acts like Clear Body, but as a hold item, and this is huge for the meta because this is a direct nerf to Parting Shot. This item is perfectly suited to set up a sweeper just because you can no longer drop its stats as long as it has this on. So this item alone may very well increase the prevalence of knockoff just because of how strong it is. This is, in my opinion, the best item that they added. Okay, so next up is Booster Energy, and this item is kind of odd because it only works with Paradox Pokemon, but it basically gives you a boost on your strongest stat, which depending on how you EV train could be a variety of different stats for several of the Paradox forms. I'm not entirely sure the strength of this item. It does seem like it could be quite useful to set up a sweep for several of the Paradox forms, like the more offensive ones will benefit a lot from this. Even the defensive ones, you could have a use case for this item, although I think it plays better offensively than defensively. Okay, so next up is Punching Glove, and this boosts the power of punching moves and also prevents direct contact with target, meaning that you won't take, say, Iron Barb's damage if you have this item on. Now, I don't actually know the bonus that this gives. I'm kind of hoping it's along the lines of 30 to 50%. I think if it were 50%, it would be a pretty good item to have. And you'd basically put it on your coverage mon that has 3 punch moves so that you can hit a variety of things. It'd be a really good consistency option. I just don't know if it actually boosts that much. It's probably 30% is my guess, which would still be fine, especially given its additional effect, but definitely not as strong as some of the other items we've seen. Okay, next is Ability Shield. This is probably the least useful item. So it protects your ability from being changed by others, but very rarely is that ever a problem. So the best use case for this would probably be as a way to prevent something's ability from changing. So you have this on a support that has, say, Switcheroo, and you could, say, switch this item onto a Slacking so that its ability cannot be changed, which would make this an excellent counter to a Slacking. But aside from that, it's pretty situational, and it's not a very well-rounded item to just throw on every team. And now for the last of the new items, Mirror Herb, which allows you to mirror an opponent's stat buffs for a single time. Now, this is a great counter to Belly Drum. If Belly Drum ever becomes meta to the point where it's on every team, Mirror Herb is the answer. But this can also catch up Policy or Swords Dance, Calm Mind, any other boost you want to take for yourself. this will do it. Now, it's kind of situational because it requires your opponent to go for a specific option for you to be able to get this off. So it's probably not an essential item, and I only think it would be essential if the meta goes in a direction where it would be useful in almost every match. But definitely a great option to have access to, and there could be some shenanigans that you can pull off to make this thing very strong, but we'll just have to wait and see. But overall, I think Clear Amulet is the best of the items. Covert Cloak is also very strong too. The rest of them, we're gonna have to just wait and see how the meta plays out, if they are actually gonna be reasonably strong or not that strong at all. But anyway, thank you for watching.